Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Meredith E. Phillips, and today we're going to be talking about the future of fall writing challenges. I've been thinking about a lot of things regarding this, honestly, and I have mixed feelings, as you'll soon see. I will link below to a video I made a couple weeks ago about NaNoWriMo, in case you missed that. That will explain a little better what is going on and why a lot of people are deciding to branch off and do their own thing this year, and presumably for the years to come. I have seen a ton of different writing challenges hosted by different people popping up over the last couple weeks, and I did want to share a bunch of those with you in this little Let's Chat video podcast thing. We need to think of a name to call this, but that's fine. All of those will be listed in the description. I would love to know also if you've seen any writing groups, writing challenges, things like that popping up. Like, let us know. I'll be adding to the description if I come across anything else in the weeks to come. I'll put that down there. I want this to kind of serve as a resource for you guys, so that you can check out any of these that look interesting to you. So for me, one of the things about NaNoWriMo that was really special is that it included hundreds of thousands of writers around the world, and everyone was coming together to do this one challenge during this one time period. And there was a real sense, for me at least, there was a real sense of motivation and excitement, and you had all the build up with Preptober and all that kind of stuff, and it was just exciting. Everyone was joining in and doing this thing together. And I know like some people would kind of do their own like rebel stuff and make their own goals, but everyone was doing some kind of big project during November. And a lot of these projects or groups or challenges or whatever that I'm going to share with you here have great ideas and they look amazing. A lot of them are deciding that November is not the month to do this, which has been a long time complaint, that November is just a terrible month to try to do some big writing challenge. I'm curious though if that's like an America thing or if that's international, because like obviously here in the States, the big thing that makes November really difficult to do some big writing challenge is we have Thanksgiving at the end of the month, and a lot of people are traveling, you're going to see family, you're having family over. It takes usually multiple days of celebrating and holiday stuff, right? And that can really throw off your productivity at the very end of the month. And you've got Christmas upcoming. It's just a busy time of year. So a lot of people have said for years, like, oh, I wish we could move it to like October or March or literally any other month except November and December, pretty much. So some of these groups have made up challenges to take place during different months of the year, which on the one hand is great. Like, yeah, I agree. October would be a better time to do a big challenge, or March. Honestly, I think March is maybe the best. Like you might have Easter or spring break kind of stuff to contend with. But for the most part, I feel like those spring months are generally a little less hectic than maybe some other months of the year. But the downside, I think, to choosing where all these different groups are choosing all these different months is that there isn't this large coming together of writers. You'll have some people doing some big challenge in October, and you'll have some people doing a big challenge in January, and you'll have, it's all spread out, which again, not a bad thing, but I'm just curious to see like how that will play out in the writing community and what that will look like. Will you still have that big, like motivational, inspirational push that a lot of us felt in November? I don't know, maybe, but we'll have to see. I'm also curious to see sort of how this is all going to look after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years. Some of these groups are brand new, like they just started Instagram accounts or Discords, a couple weeks ago, and they're really trying to do good things for the writing community, which is awesome. But it'll be interesting to see sort of how many of these end up lasting into next year or into, November 2025, 2026. and all that kind of stuff. So let me start going over just a couple of these. Again, like there are so many that are popping up all over the place. I'm not going to try to list all of them. If you've heard of anything in particular that you're going to be joining up, let me know. And other people are just like hanging out with their old Nano regional group. So if you haven't checked in with your regional group in recent months, see if they're doing anything special for November or anything upcoming. So I'm going to start with the West Michigan Author Alliance. This is obviously catered specifically to West Michigan, but I did see the person who's in charge of it, or at least part of the people who are in charge of it. They were saying like anyone can kind of join up and join in virtually to some of these events that they're doing. So check them out. They are calling it That November Thing, which I think is kind of funny. Another November challenge. They have a Discord, and they have Rippy the Cyborg Weasel as a mascot. Which, I mean, what more do you need to know, honestly? There's also the 30-day creative challenge called Rough Draft. They have a Discord and an Instagram at the moment, and they're doing a November writing challenge with different tiers that you can kind of choose from with different word count goals. So a lot more flexibility. There's the agorawriter.com. They are, again, this is a very new website, and they have a small forum already going. They have writing contests with prizes. They've got a section. I haven't looked into this extensively, but there is a section where you will be able to get feedback on your writing, which could be potentially really valuable. So check that out. There is the Pathfinders Writing Collective. They currently have an Instagram and Discord set up. This is very much a choose your own challenge kind of approach with options for what type of project you're working on, how long the challenge is going to last, and how you're going to measure your project. They did say that badges, certificates, word trackers, and a website are forthcoming. We have the Rogue Writers Network. I mentioned them in my previous video on this. And they have an October writing challenge with flexible goals. So if you want to join in with that, you only have a few days to kind of check it out. They have a Discord server, a really nice website, honestly. The website's been there for a while. They have a big list of just like writing resources and word tracking options. I know a lot of people are looking for word trackers. They have quite a few listed on there, so check that out if you're interested. They have a short story contest ending in January 2025. They're mainly connected through a Discord server, so check them out. There is also the hashtag ZapWhamPow, which I think this is kind of cool. ZAP stands for Zealous All-Consuming Planning, which is their alternative to Preptober. They have the Wham section, which is Writing Hard All Month. They are starting that challenge in October. So again, if you're wanting to maybe join up with this, better get a move on because it's starting pretty soon. And then they're also combining the writing challenge with a reading challenge, which I think is pretty cool. The POW part of this stands for perusing over words. I was a little less clear on like, is that supposed to be during a specific month or is that just sort of ongoing? Currently, they're just on the socials. All the TikTok, I think, is especially big with this, a little bit on Instagram, but you can search that hashtag to find more information. They said a website is coming. They're planning more challenges after October that would facilitate critique partners and beta and alpha reader connections, which I thought sounded pretty cool. And then here on YouTube, we have Heart Breathings with her Rough Draft Challenge. She's planning for a tiered approach to the challenge with, she's asking for input from the community on how to exactly structure things, what to like name it and stuff, which is kind of fun. The main challenge for this is going to be in November this year. And then she did say she wanted to do more challenges throughout 2025. So I hope that gives you some good options. Again, let us know if you're participating in anything in particular, if you're just gonna try to draft a book in November on your own and kind of just do your own thing. Let us know what you're planning. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next time. Bye.